All right, so for today's review, we are going to be taking a look at the Klein Tools 32305 HD. This is a 15-in-1 ratcheting multi-bit driver or multi-bit screwdriver. Now this is, from what my understanding is a no longer made or a discontinued tool from Klein. I can't find any information or even a product page about it on Klein's website. The only website that I can really find any information about this is a Home Depot, is from Home Depot, and that is where I picked mine up from originally. I originally thought it was a new product at the time when I picked it up. And that was just when Klein started to transition from Home Depot to Lowe's. And when that was all said and done and the Klein selection at Home Depot got real small, I didn't see this on the shelf at my local Lowe's, but they still had them on the shelf at my local Home Depot. So I'm not sure if this was made specifically to sell at Home Depot and they've come out with something else, or if it's just something that, since they have so many other multi-bit drivers out there, they figured they got a 13-in-1 that's fairly similar to this. It just holds one less double bit and is a little bit slimmer in size that we have looked at here on the channel. So I'm not sure if they just decided to discontinue this for that one or what the deal is with them. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and jump right into the review here. So as always, we'll start off with the Klein handle. And you do have that nice rubber overmolding on the handle, which I do prefer. And then you do have some arrows that indicate that the back of this guy, spins and opens up. And you want to push up to open up the back and expose the different bits in the carousel. And then coming to the back, you have your model number on the back, and then you have some safety warnings that are also a part of the rubber there on the back. And then we'll get to the back end side of the screwdriver. You do have that nice white paint, so if you had a bunch of different Klein screwdrivers in your bag and you were trying to identify which is which, this top is labeled. And like I've said in past videos before, this white paint on the outside does tend to rub off when you use the tool quite frequently, and there are ways to get it to come back. And then we'll open up that bit carousel, and that bit carousel opens and closes fairly easily. It does like to stick just a little bit in some spots, as you see, but it does kind of open without any issues. In this little guy, you got a T20 and a T25. Now, up in the front of it, I have a T10 and a T15 right now. And then you got a quarter 3/16 slotted, and then you got your square 1, square 2, your Phillips number 1, your Phillips number 2, Phillips number 3, and your Phillips number 0. And then you have your C1 and C2, which is the combination bit. That's either you can use, a slotted Phillips, or you use the combination bit, which is a combination of both of them. That's kind of what that bit is right there. And then back to our T20 there on the back. And these are all impact rated. So if you were using this with this screwdriver and the screwdriver wasn't doing it for you, you can take the bit out of the screwdriver and chuck it into your impact or your drill and use the bit as well. And now coming up to the front, you have your selector here. One will make it so it ratchets in the tightening position, or it will, if you put it down, it will go into the, I believe that's tightening. If you go down up to the top would be loosening. And then if you have it in the middle of the tool, it does lock. It does lock the tool, so you can use it as a normal screwdriver. And then coming up to the end, the business end of the tool, you have, like I said, I have a T15 and a T10 bit in here. It kind of does just pull out. It's a little bit tricky to get it out, but it does hold the bits in there fairly nicely. Now, the one cool thing about this is also a 1/4 inch nut driver, so you can stick a 1/4 inch screw in there. Now, it's not magnetic, it's not going to hold it into the best, but if you did need a 1/4 inch nut driver, you could use the end of it. Now, this bit isn't limited to just these style of bits. I do have some other 1/4 inch hex bits. I do have this guy right here, and it will clip into the back of the tool. Now, that is one long screwdriver, but it will work. So if you had maybe like a Melco 1/4 5/16 and you wanted to run it with this screwdriver, it would allow you to do that. And then I also have a couple of other little miscellaneous bits around here that if you wanted to, I just got a DeWalt bit right here that I could easily push into the end of the tool, and it will lock it in place. So that is a bit of a cool feature. So you're not really limited to just the Klein bits. You can throw in some of your other bits as well to use the tool. Now, like I said, I don't think this one is made anymore, so if you buy it and you end up losing bits, breaking bits, I'm not sure what's going to happen if you try to contact Klein for replacement. And I don't think they sell any replacement bits for this, whereas unlike the 1301 that we reviewed for the channel, if you were to break or lose one of the bits from there, Klein does have bit kits that they are selling now, so you can just buy a bit kit with those and replace whatever you break, whereas this guy, there's no really drop-in replacement for these bits, so pretty much once they're worn out or you've used the heck out of them and they're broken, you might be throwing the whole tool out. Unless you can figure out how to, get some of the newer bits to clip in there. I'm not sure. I haven't really tried that yet, if the bits will clip in there. But that is something to look into. But with that being said, that's pretty much all I have for this review. So I will leave a link down to Home Depot and maybe some other online retailers. Maybe I'll be able to find it on like Amazon or somewhere like that has this specific model up for sale if you're looking for it. Like I said, there's no product page on Klein's website or any information on this tool. Otherwise, I would leave that down in the description below. But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.